Yepers, it's that time of the year where I get to finally talk about the best, the worst, and the trashiest animes of 2025. Or so you might think. If you click on this video right here right now, I'm basically going to be doing a full-on nuts to butts honorable mentions list. So this is obviously my first time doing an honorable mentions video. This is not going to be any particular order. But these are shows that, for whatever reason, are just not going to make it onto my best animes of 2025, and I will basically give my reasons as to why. So here we go. First off on the honorable mentions list is going to be shows that basically I at one point I did watch from last year 2024, but for reasons that I for myself personally got into looking back at some of these shows right here first and foremost, I just don't think they'll qualify as I feel like these should be from 2024's best animes of 2024. If that makes sense. So shows like Blue Box is not going to be in the running for this one as a result. Dragon Ball Daima, which while this did come up back in last year fall 2024, it did wrap up this year 2025, and this is not going to be up for consideration. And to me, again, I've been pretty vocal about Dragon Ball Daima over the years, or sorry, over the months, and it's just not a good show. It's okay, it's passable. That's all I'll say about it. ReZero Season 3. Absolutely love the show. Amazing, incredible show. But while this did come out last year, 2024, I did put it in the top 5, if I'm not mistaken, for my best animes of 2024 video. So I think putting this again in my best animes of 2025 would be a bit redundant, especially considering that, yes, I prefer the second half over the first half. And then shows like Orb on the Movement of the Earth. This one I unfortunately could not get to watching, not because I didn't like it or I wasn't interested. I just didn't have the time for it. So hopefully one day I'll get to watching Orb and eventually catching up to this show because I've been hearing nothing but great things being praised about this show ever since this was first announced. But yeah, moving on from there, of course, we're now going to aim to the shows that I just couldn't get to watching this year, 2025, for obvious but maybe some cliche reasons alone. First and foremost will be the final season of My Hero Academia. Yeah, look, I've been hearing nothing but great things about the final season. I'm not dissing it like I did back in its heyday, mind you. But to me, like, while I understand this show's gotten so much praise, I've seen the clips and viral moments going around, and this is probably going to be everyone's anime of the year contender right here. For me, I just sadly can't get to watching this final season if I haven't watched the previous seasons prior. So because of that, this is definitely out of the running for my best anime of the year. And the same will also go with its spin-off with the Vigilante Boku no Hero Academia Illegals anime, which came out earlier this year. Moving on, of course, another show that I just couldn't get into, To Your Eternity Season 3. Now, what's funny was that I actually was supposed to watch this show back when this first came out, I believe in 2021, 2022. But I think after what I've heard about the second season fumbling really hard, it kind of made me deviate away from wanting to give the show a shot, sadly. And again, this one, again, I've been hearing is nothing but praise and some talks about the show, despite the mixed reception that I believe this third season has been getting. But it is like a supposed anime of the year potential, right? But for me, I just simply can't see myself getting into this show again. Moving on, The Summer Hikaru Died. This one is touted to be like one of the best horror psychological animes of the year. For me, I really did try giving this 2 episodes, but I just wasn't crazy about it. The show, the concept, and the atmosphere and everything was really good, really unique. But I don't know, something about this show just made me not want to check it out more or less. But moving further, Doctor Stone Science Future. Haven't watched the previous season, so there's no point in me checking this one out, sadly, even though I've heard nothing but good things about this show. And finally, Fire Force Season 3. Again, another show where I've heard nothing but great praises about. And while there is another season of the show coming out next year, 2026, I unfortunately need to really catch up on Fire Force to really get my full thoughts on the show. Now we're going to get into the shows that I obviously have watched this year, 2025. And like I said, at the end of the day, all these shows are good to some degree, but for my personal reasons, I just don't think these shows are going to make it to my best animes of 2025. And start off with probably the biggest one to come out this year by a YouTuber of all things is Bond. Look, I absolutely loved the movie, praised the movie a lot when it first came out. I didn't give it a formal initial score, and I'll still leave it at that because, like I said, Bond is one of those films that is enjoyable from front to back, and I do understand that this could be everyone's like for anyone that's followed Gone over the years, it's going to be like their top five best anime of 2025 this year. I don't think that this is like enough for me personally to put this in my top five since there's other really big, well-known anime shows that really should deserve the spotlight and the highlight in my view. But like I said, Bond's a good show. Highly recommend checking it out. It's only 20 minutes long. Go check it out, man. It's a really good movie nonetheless. Next, we have the Yaiba Samurai Legend Shiba. Um, yeah, Yaiba Samurai Legend, really great show for 24 episodes. And again, immediately, like at the beginning of the show, the pacing was a little bit slow, really obvious, really clear beaten path. But towards the very like second half of this show, it actually started getting progressively better, animation wise, storytelling wise, even on such a really high and really intense cliffhanger that I absolutely like and actually I'm looking forward to when the second season comes out with the Kaguya Hand arc that drops sometime in the near future. But yeah, Wit Studios once again showcasing why they are the best at what they do. Next, honorable mentions Windbreaker Season 2. This, again, when this show blew up back last year of 2024, Windbreakers was a really good, phenomenal show, and it really set itself apart at the time and had a lot of potential what was to come. Season 2, on the other hand, in my view, it really did continue the momentum of the first season, but it felt like it was like slowing down a little bit. And while we did get some really cool, serious moments of character development here and there in the second season, I felt like it just wasn't enough to like justify really investing in this show at the end of the day. Again, still really great highlights. Cloverworks still bringing out their best animation chops. The voice acting still incredible. But for me, Windbreaker Season 2 just was missing that oomph, the thing that made them well known in the first place in the first season. And I'll simply leave it at that. Next, of course, is Kaiju number 8 Season 2. Again, there's not really a whole lot to say about the second season. I'm going to honestly stand by this from when I did the review of this initially. I think this is like a bit of a step down compared to the first season when it first came out. And I am keeping my fingers crossed that we hopefully get a season 3 Kaiju number 8. But as it stands, this just feels a bit underwhelming. It kind of feels like a bit of like a roadblock kind of moment where it's like, okay, it's setting up these final billion blocks like this big epic finale, but it feels like it's going to end super fast given that it is a really short manga series. But again, I think they should have went a lot more harder in the second season because there were some highlights, there were some moments here that are really good, but not enough for me to carry this over to the best animes list of my in my opinion. Next, Kowloon Generic Romance. This was touted the best anime of spring of 2025 in that season with nothing but mediocre and dog shit shows. I do stand by it. This is still like a really good, honestly, a really underrated romantic slice of life comedy anime out there. Or sorry, I don't know why I said comedy, but Kowloon Generic Romance is really good, really amazing. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. Really great voice acting. The art style is super reminiscent of like the 90s, 80s aesthetics, and it's a show that I feel like it's just gonna age like fine wine if people really just give this show a fair chance. Next is Sakamoto Days 1 and Sakamoto Days Part 2. Now, both of these shows, respectfully, I think I'll say it once and I'll say it again. It is just playing it way too safe. And while Part 2 definitely was a lot stronger than the first part, I just feel like it wasn't good enough to push it to make it be like mind blowingly like blowing me away to point like okay this is like an anime of the year contender. It just ended up being like in the safe spot all the way to the end. And again, there are much better, more stronger shows of this caliber that proved to be a lot better, more entertaining. Hell, even like something like Spy Family, which I've also like compared the show relatively to, is just still crushing it even to this day. The third season that's currently airing right now is also doing better than Sakamoto Days in my opinion. And that's just me just comparing apples to apples, you know? Next, of course, no, I wouldn't put this in my honorable mentions, but this shouldn't even be on here. But I mean, hey, why not? If anything, there's no freaking way I'll be your lover unless anime. This one actually could have been a potential anime of the year contender, But the more I kept watching this show and looking back at it, the more it's like, yeah, this is just more Yuri slice of life trash, fun bad anime nonetheless, and that's all I can really say about it. Still a good show though, but definitely not going to be on my best animes of 2025 this year. Next is Sonda. Talked about it pretty recently. Really good show, but it is kind of held back by the fact that this is a show that I feel like you can only watch during the winter holiday season, if that makes sense. And then to wrap this up, Cat's Eye, really great show, but unfortunately, the fact that it stopped 6 episodes in and we have to wait till next year is kind of underwhelming in my view. But it is still like a really nice, really unique, and still like a really classy show for a show that actually adapted to the original source material from back in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. But really good, really fun show. And finally, Rumble One Half Season 2, really good show again, but I think we're just missing some oomph to like really push this to the next level in my view. And there you go. That's basically going to be all the animes that I'm listing here as a honorable mention that is going to be shouted out at least to wrap up the honorable 2025 anime video of the year. Again, I understand I may have not listened to every anime on this video right here, right now, which means obviously shows that I probably haven't checked out. Please let me know down below what I should have checked out in the first place, or if the what I have listed in the honorable mention should have made it onto my best animes of 2025. Let me know down below, and I will see you all in the next one when I get through the best, the worst, and the trashiest animes of 2025. And that's it. I'll see you on the next one. Later.